Okay. Excellent. So this is one of the few times where it looks like I've managed to get a microphone more or less working while I am streaming. So hopefully that means that any chats that come across, I should be able to see and should be able to answer as well. So as the video description and title states, I will be playing some of the newly released Attack of the Petscii Robots for the Atari 7800. And again, this is being streamed or will be streamed live from my actual Atari 7800 that has been AV upgraded with a UAV board. And everything we are viewing is streamed through S-Video from the Atari into my Xtron 7SC and eventually through my OSSC and to my television and to YouTube. So hopefully this gives us some pretty good results. This is also the first time I have managed to get a microphone working, so hopefully it also sounds okay. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and get the game started, and we will go from there. Go. Okay, so let's just kind of go through some of the options we have here a bit. So again, I am controlling the game using a Super Nintendo controller that's hooked up to the Atari 7800 using the new SNES to Atari adapter that comes with the game when you purchase it. Similar to all the other ports of the game, you can select which starting map you want to play on. There is a total of 15 maps in the 7800 version. You can specify your starting difficulty, which in this case defaults to the easy difficulty. You can also see by looking at the eyebrows of the robot what difficulty mode you're in visually. So this is easy difficulty with normal and hard difficulty. The main difference between all of these is basically the number of hits the robots take to kill them. In addition to, I think it will also affect how plentiful the items are that you find. I tend to play on normal, and then there's a multitude of different control options. Standard controls is for use of the SNES control pad, like I'm using here, or even with the standard CX24, also known as the Pain Line controllers, which are the default controllers on the Atari 7800. There are other options as well, such as a twin stick option, and also an option that allows you to use a keypad controller, or keyboard controller, I should say, in addition to the joystick. That would be like, for instance, one of the Star Raiders pads in port 2. But I'm just going to be using standard controls for this. And just to start off, I'm just going to go ahead and start off on the first map, which is the research lab. So here we go. Alright, character movement is controlled with the controller itself, the D-pad in this case. And then the basic object of the game is to essentially eliminate all of the robots on the map, and to do so without yourself getting killed in the process. There are a number of ways of dispatching the different robots with items you find, such as weapons like a pistol or a plasma gun. There are also time bombs that you can find that you can drop, which by the name of their sound will detonate after a certain amount of time to try and destroy robots. There are also environmental hazards that you can lead the robots into sometimes to also destroy them and dispatch them. So in order to find items, you have to search for items, and the way that is done is by initiating the search icon or the search mode, and then using the directional pad in the direction you wish to search. In this case, I am going to search the spaceship that I started off at here. There we go. Now I found the pistol, which defaults to 100 shots. Now there are three main robots that you have to contend with in each of these levels. You have what's called the hoverbot, which is this guy right here. Now, the hoverbots will always move in a straight line, either horizontally or vertically. As you see here, this one is moving up and down, and there's another one that moves up and down, but there are other rollerbots, or hoverbots rather, that will move left to right. These will not come after you by default unless you provoke them, essentially by like trying to take a shot at them, in which case they will just come bearing right down on you, and as they touch you, they will injure you. But other than that, they're essentially harmless, so you don't have to worry about moving around them or trying to sneak past or anything of that sort, because again, they're not going to hurt you. At least not initially. So there I just searched the desk, and I found me a key card. One of the other things to do is to set up ways that make it easier to get rid of these robots, because some of them might take more than one attack or more than one type of weapon or something to that effect to get rid of them. So in this case, I'm going to now switch the cursor over to the move function. I'm going to move this chair to trap this hoverbot between the desk and the chair. So I'm going to wait for the bot to come back down. Is trapped. Now I don't have to do this, but it makes it easier when I go to take him out later on. I will be using a time bomb most likely, because I'll just be able to just drop it right there, and I know he'll be in the path of the impending explosion because he is not moving at that time. And then I will do the same thing with this robot. It's not quite fast enough to get that chair in front of him before he, there we go. Okay, now he's trapped. A lot of cool animation in this version of the game, such as the flag there that's flapping around in the breeze, and the water effect, a lot of ripples and waves. Lots of good color and detail as well. You can tell that this is a bathroom. You can't search toilets, which is a good thing. This is not Duke Nukem Forever, but you can search the sinks. You're not able to search plants either. You can't search the walls. But you can search boxes, at least closed boxes, which are denoted by their lids. I'm going to move this box out of the way. Let's search this box. I'm going to move this one out of the way. Okay, I found time bombs. Cool. These green things are canisters, or more specifically, they're explosive canisters. I actually like the way the canisters look in this version of the game, because they actually look like petrol or gas canisters, like what you might find strapped to a vehicle. That's really what they look like, and that's what they are. Now those will explode when shot with the pistol or with the plasma rifle, and in this case that's what I'm going to do here to get rid of this first robot. Is I'm just going to shoot it with the, I'm going to shoot the canister with the pistol, which will explode and take out the robot. Now, if you're too close, the explosions can hurt you. So that's not cool. You do have to be careful how close you are. Usually I like to stay right about here where the item I'm going to destroy is just one space for being off screen, like you can see there. Now, in order to fire off a shot, in the case of the SNES controller, you actually just use the normal Y, X, A, and B buttons in their corresponding directions. So as an example, Y will shoot off to the left, whereas A will shoot off to the right. B shoots down, and X will shoot up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shoot up to blow up this canister. Boom. And it took out that robot. It also destroyed boxes in the area. So something to keep in mind when you're playing the game is it is possible to put yourself in no-win situations on some of these maps if you accidentally destroy or blow up a box that may contain a key card or other item that you need in order to progress. There's a hover bot that's moving left to right. And then there's another bot there. That is called the roller bot. Now the roller bot's kind of nasty because similar to the hover bot, he will only move up and down or left and right on the axis that he is on. But unlike the hover bot, he will actually take pot shots at you if you're in his line of sight. Like that. He just took a couple of shots at me. You didn't really see them because I was right up next to him. He did. Because if you look at my little character's face up in the upper right, you will see that my little health bar shows a couple of notches decrease. Yeah. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to move the stool in preparation for down one level. I don't think there's anything at this table, but I will check. Alright, I'm going to search this box. Found a magnet. Now the magnets, I guess I should talk about some of the items really quick. So once you have searched some boxes or furniture and you have found items, then in the case of the SNES controller, the left and the L1 and R1 or the shoulder buttons are how you navigate or change options or change items. So in the case of L1, for instance, it will allow me to cycle between the different items that I have so far found. So there's my time bombs, that's a health kit, and then I have 4 magnets. And then if I had found a different weapon besides the pistol, which is what I have there now, then I would use the R1 button to toggle between that. I haven't yet, so there isn't anything else to see. Now on the SNES controller, the way that you switch modes is you have to hold down the start button, the select button, while using the left or right shoulder buttons. So if I want to search something, for instance, that is, then I actually have to hold select in L1, which will put me into search mode. If I want to move something, then I have to hold down select and hit R1, which will put me into the move. And the difference is by looking at the way the icons are. You can see there that with the move icon, for instance, it's essentially a solid block, or it's just the 2 green flashing lines there. Whereas with search, it moves downward, from the top down. Some of the doors are locked when you initially come up to them and won't open, and in which case they require key cards. Doors like that will actually have a little, you can see there's a little like, that looks like it's orange, light or a plaque or something next to the door. So if the door is locked, then the color that sits next to that door is the color of the key card you need to find. So there is a door that is red that I can now open because I have the red key card that has the little spade symbol in it. And it is in fact over here. In fact, it's not only red, but you can also see that it actually has a little spade symbol on it. Here we go. If I didn't have that key card that I found earlier in the game, this door would not have opened for me. Right, found another key card. Cool. And I found a med kit. I also have to apologize for my voice. I'm still somewhat recovering from Portland Retro Gaming Expo. Did a lot of talking. Alright. So that's the basics of the game. I'm now going to just kind of play, and I will monitor the chat in case anybody should happen to stop by, and if they have any questions, I'll be happy to answer. Yes, it's a very impressive port of the game. I was quite surprised the first time I popped it in and tried it out at Portland Retro Gaming Expo on Sunday. I'd seen pictures of it, of course, but I hadn't really seen it and heard it and played it for myself, so pretty cool. There would only be a few left. It does have the map as well, like some of the other newer versions. That's my only issue with the controls, is that you have to actually push the pause button on the console to access the overhead map. So yes, I have just the 3 bots remaining. So in that regard, you still have to be somewhat close by to the 7800 in order to pull up the map. I of course grew up starting with the 2600, and then in the very late 80s, my parents got me the 7800, and I've been a fan of the 7800 ever since, really. Okay, should just be the one evil bot that's left. So we'll just lure him right into the trash compactor. Done. That should be all the robots on this map. Let's double check. Yep. No more robots remaining and only one secret. Now, the one secret that's left is a med kit that happens to be in this box. That's it. Teleporter's available. I guess I could bring myself up to full health. There we go. Map complete. Being far from the console is not a big problem back when these were popular. That's true. We had some of those long joystick extenders. However, the 7800's default controllers weren't nearly as long as the 2600 controllers. And especially in the case of this, where the Super Nintendo controller is so much longer, since this game allows you to play with it, it just seems odd to me that there's not a button combination we can use to pull up the map when we need to. Especially in some of the other maps that are larger that I'm not familiar with as much, I always have to pull it up and take a look at it. There we go. Alright, I should try a different map. There's headquarters. The village is kind of a common one that some people like. And the island. Let's see. Town, high university. Kind of like the forest moon. Although you're very limited on your movements on this one, but it's still pretty cool. Right. Alright, need the key card for this one. We need to find some time bombs. Yes, I actually have all of the variations of the Intellivision in my collection. Yes, they did. My understanding is they did indeed port the Commodore 128 artwork to the 7800. Obviously, the music is all custom and redone from Noel, and apparently this was Noel's first POKEY project, so it's very impressive. However, there is one interesting thing on this version that I haven't seen in any of the others, and that is if I push the select button, we have the ability to actually change the music and sound effects volume, and we can change our hero icon. Mike is apparently the default guy we have up there. You can also change it to David, which I'm assuming is for David Murray, and then somebody called Bruce, because I guess they think he looks like Bruce Lee. Maybe we'll play as David for So again, it's just for fun. You know, it just changes your little on-screen character. My understanding is that the David character is more close to that of what you see in most of the actual Petscii Robots game. And like I said, we also have one here called Bruce. I played as Bruce before. It's kind of just different. It doesn't serve any practical purpose other than just indifferent. Again, each of the characters is exactly the same. Found any other items other than the key. I need to get me a health kit. First roller bot did a number on me. Leave this all on. Oh, no, it's not. I like this map, but I'm not nearly as familiar with it. Know what objects contain items in them. Need a med kit. Med kit. I do like how they took that cue from like Doom Guy, you know, with the head and showing showing your character getting more and more messed up as you get damaged and your health goes south. Okay, so I have to have the EMP for this because that door will open past it. I have to do this, come down here and just start getting crushed. More down. I'm really not sure how many different tunes there are in the 7800 version either. I mean, obviously we have the title screen music, we have music here now. There are more robots. Time bombs need a med kit. I do like how the trash compactor will literally destroy anything. It's actually pretty impressive when you think about it, that you can even move some of the inanimate objects into it. Walking into it yourself and getting killed. Little details. Key cards, that's what I need. Shoot me over this low wall. I could do EMP. That. Good time. Okay. I can't believe you just... What a jerk. That time. Well, what needs to be to pull up these and shoot through the window. Plasma gun. Last time I was playing this level, I never found a key card either. Pretty sure I didn't just... Figure out where you know that. Who's left? You joke. Wait a minute. See who may be walking that's with us probably already knows. Or I took out the roller bot. We're actually over here to pick up the key card. Magnet. There it is. Get rid of Mr. Evil Bot. This one out. Plasma. This means there's 3 robots left. anything? Nope. Nice. I've tried Death Tower before. It's not pretty. And the bunker is pretty nasty. Oh, is there anyone watching that has an idea or has a preference on which map they think I should try next? Yes, that's correct. It does have POKEY for the sound, although technically this cartridge actually features one of Fred Quimby's new HOKEY chips in it. Which is an FPGA replacement. It's fairly new, but all of the more recent Atari Age releases have HOKEY chips in them, as of about the last couple of months, I guess. However, it is still using the TIA for the sound effects, as I understand it. But there's nothing wrong with that, because when you think about it, that affords them 6 channels or 6 voices for audio. 4 from the POKEY, of course, and then 2 more from the TIA. Let's see, that's the only gun I have. This buffer. No. Roller bot over here. Come on, I know he's there somewhere. There he is. source for some of the old 7800 games from way back in the machine, in case I want to try my hand at a project. Well, that would be very cool. We can always use more 7800 programmers. You can see just from Petscii Robots, it's obviously a very capable game. And I have actually hosed myself because I do not have a way to get rid of that canister, because I can't move items backwards. So I think I have effectively blocked myself in here. Reset key to kill ourselves. Can't win them all. All right, and it is now 7 o'clock, so that is pretty much exactly 1 hour that I have been streaming and playing. So I think I'm going to call that good for the time being. And maybe come back to this a little bit later. I know I'm going to play more of it at a different time. But yeah. And let's see, what is that? Oh, Evil J, that's how your name is. Evil J, thanks for hanging out, chatting, asking some questions. If you have any other questions about the game, let me know, either in some comments later, or if you have anything to ask right now, I'll be happy to answer as best I can. But aside from that, I'm going to go ahead and end this stream for the time being, and catch you guys another time. You too, have a good one as well. Thanks.